Good morning. I'm going to Dosher Medical today. I'm going to Dosher Medical today to get tested for coronavirus instead of going fishing. Doesn't that sound fun? I woke up Tuesday, I guess it was, feeling really crappy, muscle aches and sore, which turned into a fever later on that evening. The next day, low-grade fever, fatigue, but no coughing or anything like that. And then I kind of sweated that out, I guess, Wednesday night. I don't even know, the days are starting to run each other. Anyway, we called up and they were like, well, don't come in until Friday because you don't want to get a false negative. If you go too early, you can get a false negative on the test. So, beautiful day on the island. Nice to be out. Oh my gosh. I did sit out in the sun a little yesterday after the storm cleared up, and that felt really good. But, you know, if you're here and you're fishing, and good luck. I know it's going to be a little tight on the beach during the day, but if you can get up early in the morning or in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, evening, 6, get out there because definitely going to be some fish around. I'm going to miss that part. I asked my wife yesterday, I was like, can I go fishing? She was like, no. I was like, I don't have the energy anyway. I wasn't even supposed to be here. I was supposed to go to Florida to see my son Josh. He's a wildlife biologist down in Key Largo. When I found out, you know, I had the fever, I'm like, I know they're not going to let me on the plane, so that spoiled that, and I was very sad. And then I looked it up, and weepiness is actually a symptom of coronavirus, and I was like, oh, well, I'm kind of glad I didn't get on that plane. I don't need to give him my virus, or anybody else for that matter. The whole thing, I've been good. Hand sanitizer, the mask. I wear the mask. I haven't even gone that many places, to be honest with you, so I'm not even sure how I got this. I think my wife, I think she's asymmetrical. Is that what you call it? She doesn't have any symmetrical symptoms. She doesn't have any asymptomatic. I think she's asymptomatic. I think she gave it to me. She probably picked it up at that dirty office of hers. The plan is to not have coronavirus or have coronavirus, but be cured of it in a week and be back out on the beach. I want to do a pier fishing video. I want to get down to the pier. That'll be cool. And if I don't have it, I'm kind of going to be pissed because I'm going to be like, well, I've been fretting about it for at least half a week now, almost a week. You know, I won't get the results back till Monday. I think I can't have a rapid test. It's just like going to take 48 to 72 hours or something like that. I don't know. I get so bored just sitting around doing nothing. It's one thing when you're fatigued and you can't just even get out of the bed. It's nothing when you're feeling better and you just got to sit there. You know, like you get a big hit and you're reeling it in. And you're like, man, this is something so super cool, and you get it up to like maybe the shore or the side of the boat or whatever, and you see this color, you see this, you're like, that's a beautiful fish, and then just before you can get the net around it or pull it onto land, the line snaps, and you cry. You know that feeling when you cry when you lose a fish? That's how I felt. I felt like that's what it feels like to have coronavirus. That's coronavirus right there. Now I feel better. I feel better, so everything's fine. I can't go out, and I can't, so I'm not going to get breed for a week. So I'm kidding myself. Little tour here, right? The Old Bridge Diner. Man, I like to just go in there and sit at the counter and get myself a cup of coffee and some liver pudding. I'd love to go fishing down there. I've never done it. I've always thought about it. I don't know if you can see it. I always thought about it. Oh man, I bet you there's some fish in there. I think this is gonna be it. Okay, I'm gonna look on my instructions, find out. Okay, well, I went inside and they asked me a bunch of questions, and because I feel better today, they said I couldn't have COVID. So apparently I'm COVID free, which I don't know if that's good or bad because I kind of wanted to get it over with if that was the case. But the good news is I'm not worried about giving it to anybody else, so good for me. She said I could have caught 1,000 other viruses, so yay, other viruses. I guess we can go fishing. All right, so for starters, I picked up a new rod, and it was $35, and I thought it was taller than it was. It was actually 11 foot, which is the same as my Penn Prevail, but it was really springy, and so I thought I would just use that as my king fishing rod. Now here, look at this. Can you see that boat? My line is right under that boat. I walked out there, and I cast it as far out as that boat was. And the thing was, there wasn't just that one boat. There was a couple of boats, and they were all coming where my line was. And this guy was going to run over my line. I just knew it. So I did like my whole thing, like, look, dude, this is my line. It's right there. He didn't care. I think they were looking for pogies, which made me feel really good because I knew there was some bait there. So I thought I'd probably catch something. But so I had my big rod out, and then with my other double drop rig, I had picked up some fiddler crabs down by the ICW. And I was like, let me just see what I can catch with these free bait. Right, I just had to run after them and catch them, and I just put the hook kind of in the side here and just like feel it so it's just about to come out the back. So when the fish grabs it, they're going to get the hook in their mouth. So what I catch, a bunch of seaweed. This actually had a bunch of line tangled up in it. I must have caught somebody else's line. So it took me a few minutes there, and I kind of got it untangled from my rod, and I put it in my bucket, and I disposed of it properly later on because we don't want that kind of trash laying around the beach, right? All right, so did I catch anything besides my bird's nest here? Yeah, what I do when I'm going for smaller fish like that is I will keep my finger on the line. A lot of people just put the rod in the holder there, in the sand spike, but I like to hold the rod. I like to feel it. I like to feel that little nibble, because sometimes with these smaller fish like whiting, they can take the bait without a big hit, and you won't even know it, and you'll just have your rod out there. So I keep my finger on that line, and I was right. They were there, and they were taking my bait, so I got myself a nice little whiting here, who eventually made his way onto my kingfish rod that I've set out there. So I'd have a nice live piece of bait out there. So this little kingfish, little whiting, little AKA sea mullet became my bait. And then I caught another fish, and this I'm really excited about. It's not really big. Don't get your hopes up. But I caught it, and it's not that you see right there hanging off the line is actually a piece of seaweed. It's not that. It's right below it. Look at that. A shiny pompano. Yes, this is my first pompano of the season. It's embarrassing. I haven't caught any before that. And it's certainly not a citation, but I was happy to have it. And my neighbor Mike was like, you going to use that for bait too? And I was like, nah, he's too cute. I'm going to send him back in. And I was walking back, going to let him go. And a little kid came over, and he was like, his mom was like, can he see the fish? He really wants to see it. And so he like touched it, and he realized it was very slimy, and he let me know that it was slimy, and I told him yes, it was, and then I took it back over to the water there, and I kind of had to shake it around a little bit to get it to go. I guess I had him out a little too long there. He doesn't look too happy, but no, I got him going. So we released him. And that's really all the fishing I've done. Thank you, Fever. But I'm going to get back out there. Meanwhile, the whiting, I thought we was ready to go, and this is what happened to him. So I guess if I had just been a little bit more patient, I might have caught a shark. But I guess he wasn't hungry enough to eat the whole thing. All right, I'm going to get back out there this week. I'm going to do a pier fishing video. It's going to be pretty cool.